This list and video are my general Jesus responses that mention Jesus when approached by Messianics or missionaries. Number 1, sorry, your God is dead, ours isn't. Number 2, if I would accept Jesus as the Messiah, convert to Christianity, or join your church, then my mommy would hold me down and tie me down. My daddy would kill me. Then they would kill each other. And then all of my deceased ancestors would resurrect themselves, rise from the dead, just to die again. Number 3 is a joke. There were 2 Jews who ran into a church to protect themselves against a very strong rain and a very hard storm. They realized when they were in the church that they were at a nun ceremony where the nuns spiritually get married to Jesus. So the priest, he very coldly and angrily approached these 2 men and said, "What are you doing here?" And the men answered, "Oh, we're with the groom's side." When asked by missionaries, why don't I admit that Jesus said that? And how come I don't know that Jesus did this? And why can't I accept the fact that he did this or said this? I look at the missionary and I say, I know I'm not 5 years old anymore, but how old do I look? Do I look more than 2,000 years old? That I was alive back then to give witness to and to hear with my own ears what he did and said? Number 5 is another joke. How do you know that Jesus was a Jew? He had a profession. He lived with his mommy until he was 30. He thought that his mom was a virgin, and his mom thought that he was God. Sound familiar, like a lot of mothers you know? I tell the Messianics, was a shanda, what a shame and chaval, a waste of a nice, traditional, healthy, young Jewish boy with a profession. He was good enough that I would have set him up with my daughter. I would have accepted him as a son-in-law. If he resurrects himself quickly enough, before my daughter finds somebody else, he could marry my daughter. I'd accept him into my family. Nice Jewish boy with a profession. Number 7 is another joke. I heard versions of it growing up, but recently Modi, the comedian, does a wonderful version of it. A man comes to his rabbi and says, "Rabbi, you'll never believe what happened to me. My son left the house and became a Christian." Oy vey! The rabbi answered, "You'll never believe what happened to me. My son also left the house and became a Christian." Oh, oy vey, what do? We pray to God. So they pray to God and God answers, "You'll never believe what happened to me." Modi does it really great. Number 8, I ask the Messianic or missionary, if you claim that you care about Jesus so much, you claim that he's everything and everything he ever did or said you live by, then why don't you study the languages he spoke, especially Hebrew, and why don't you study all the religious practices and traditions he did and why he did them and where they came from? Now, of course, 99.99% of them do not take this advice. They don't really study Jesus. Number 9, I tell Messianics, my widowed mother still hasn't gotten remarried. She thought that my father was Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and the Messiah all rolled into one. So nobody could ever compare to that, so she's not remarrying. Since my mother basically thought that my father was a God, that my dad was God, then that makes my brother Jesus. And number 11, I do this to any Christian I know, whether they're a simple Christian, a Christian in their home, a Messianic, any denomination. I say this to them. I beg them. Can I please please be your second favorite Jew? Please. And if they're Catholic and if they worship Mary, I say to them, I'll take third place. I'm fine with that. Can I please be your third favorite Jew? Please. They love that. They crack up with that, and I've gotten hugs and laughs and smiles. So I'd like to give a big shout out in Philadelphia to my mother Mary and my brother Jesus and to my actual Jewish biological father in heaven. Shalom from Israel.